What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you a video about the Ranger class in the upcoming Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, which is currently in beta. The Ranger class is, some would say, an archer. However, that's not entirely correct. So Rangers can use a wide variety of combat styles, not just ranged attacks and things, though that does seem to be what people prefer to do with it. It is, however, not actually a requirement. Now, they can have animal companions, or they cannot. We'll get into that in a minute. And then their archetypes do a lot of fun things. So with that out of the way, let's actually get into this. So first of all, Rangers are divine casters. Now, they use their wisdom stat as their casting stat. However, their spell list is real small. You won't get any of it until level 4, and you're never going to get a lot of it anyway. So while it can be useful for buffs and things, I wouldn't go too crazy expecting to do much with it. For their base class, they have the class skills of Athletics, Persuasion, Lore Nature, Knowledge World, Stealth, Perception, and Knowledge Arcana. For proficiencies, we are looking at all simple and martial weapons, as well as light armor, medium armor, and shields excluding tower shields. You'll notice how that included more than just a bow. Moreover, first level, your base class ranger selects a favored enemy. Now this is a creature type from all of the creature types you can pick from. Now you get a +2 bonus on weapon attack and damage rolls against that creature type. At 5th level and every 5 levels after that, so 10th, 15th, and 20th level, you can select an additional favored enemy. Moreover, at each interval, you can select one of those enemies, including the one you just selected if you want, and increase the bonus by +2. Now, that said, this bottom part will tell you that if you choose humanoids or outsiders as a favored enemy, you must also choose a subtype. That is for the pen and paper version of the game. In the actual video games, Kingmaker and Wrath of the Righteous, you don't have to choose a subtype. It just picks it for you. It seemingly just applies to them all. Now at 2nd level, we are going to pick up first a combat style and then an associated feat. So Rangers will be able to pick a combat style. Now this can be archery, crossbows, two-handed fighting, sword and shield even. Basically just a type of fighting style, right? This level, as well as 6th, 10th, 14th, and 18th level, you will be able to choose feats from your selected combat style even if you don't meet the prereqs. So this will give you extra combat feats for your fighting style that you chose. So if you chose archery, as I'm sure a lot of people will, that'll give you things like precise shot, deadly aim, rapid shot, stuff like that. So it helps you pick a type of combat that, again, can be more than archery. And then at 3rd level, we get to pick a favored terrain. So much like a favored enemy, this works in similar ways except terrain. You'll gain a +2 bonus on initiative checks, lore nature, perception, and stealth checks while you are in your favored terrain. Now at 8th level and every 5 levels after that, you can select an additional favored terrain, and then again at each interval you can choose to increase the bonus on one of those by +2 again. And then at level 12, you'll pick up Camouflage, which will let you, as a move action, use your stealth skill to hide in any of your favored terrains even while you're in combat. Now at 4th level, this is where things get a little more interesting. So this is where your hunter's bond comes in. You will be able to form a bond with either your hunting companions or an animal companion. Now the first bond, your companions, will allow you to spend a move action to grant half of your favored enemy bonus against a single target of the appropriate type to all allies within 30 feet who can see or hear you. This will last a number of rounds equal to your wisdom modifier at a minimum of 1. Now, this will not stack with any favored enemy bonuses your allies already have. They just use whichever is higher. The animal companion is just that. It's an animal companion. It will essentially function like every other class's animal companion, except that it will share your favored enemy and favored terrain bonuses, and can act as a mount if it meets the appropriate size requirements. Now, at level 20, you're going to pick up Master Hunter for the base class. This will change here and there depending on some archetypes, but the base class gets Master Hunter. So with the standard action, you can make a single attack. If that attack hits, the target takes damage normally, makes a fortitude save, or it dies. So you can use this 5 times per day, but not against the same creature more than once in a 24-hour period. So it either makes its fortitude save or it dies. Then we pick up Evasion. Evasion will let you use reflex saves to successfully avoid all damage instead of half on a successful save. And then Improved Evasion, which you'll get a little later, at level 16, makes even a failed save only give you half damage. Now, starting at level 11, we pick up Quarry. This will let you, as a standard action, mark a target as your quarry. You'll give a +2 insight bonus on attack rolls made against your quarry, and all critical threats are automatically confirmed. However, you can only have one quarry at a time. And then at 19, this becomes improved quarry. You'll be able to use this as a free action, and your insight bonus to the attack is +4 instead. And then at level 3, you pick up the endurance feat, which will give you a +2 bonus on athletics checks, as well as a +4 bonus on fortitude saves against fatigue and exhaustion. And also will let you sleep in light or medium armor without becoming fatigued. And that brings us to the Demon Slayer archetype. This archetype is very similar to the base class, however, your favored enemy is chosen for you. It is always outsider every time. So you won't be able to select multiple, it will always select evil outsider, or just outsider in this case. Now this does affect a couple other things, namely your quarry ability. So when you choose an evil outsider as your quarry, you can forego the normal +2 attack bonus, and instead treat your weapon as if it was good aligned versus your quarry, letting you bypass their damage reduction, which will give you, in theory, a much better bonus than the +2 attack bonus. And then that becomes improved Fiendish Quarry at 19th level, where it will let you act as if you have the Holy Weapon special ability when attacking your quarry. Now, at 3rd level, you pick up Demonologist. This will give you a bonus equal to half your class level on Knowledge World checks, and then Level 3 will give you Expanded Spell List, which sounds a lot more interesting than it is, because it just gives you protection from evil spells, the single version, which is a level 1 spell, and the communal version, which is a level 2 spell. Now that brings us to Espionage Expert. So Espionage Experts lose their favored terrain choices, as well as their Hunter's Bond being forced to be your companions. You don't get to choose an animal companion with this archetype. Moreover, Master Hunter becomes Espionage Master. This is basically the same thing, except it uses your Charisma modifier instead of your Wisdom modifier. This is because Espionage Experts will get an ability at, I believe it's level 4, that changes their caster stat from Wisdom to Charisma, in addition to getting Undercover at level 3, which will give you a bonus equal to half your level on Persuasion when used to bluff and stealth checks, as well as Trap Finding at level 1, which will give you a bonus equal to half your level on perception checks. Now this brings us to the Flame Warden, which in my opinion is one of the more interesting archetypes. So you do lose a few things here. You're going to lose Evasion, and you're going to lose your Hunter's Bond altogether. You just don't get one. However, you pick up some pretty cool stuff in that trade-off. Starting with Touch of Flame at 4th level. This will let you cause your weapon to burst into flame as a standard action. This essentially just gives the weapon the flaming special ability for 1 minute. The weapon will count as magic for the purposes of damage reduction. You can use this ability a number of times per day equal to 3 plus your wisdom modifier. And then at 12th level, this becomes the Flaming Burst special ability instead. At 9th level, you can pick up Stoking the Embers. This is essentially the Breath of Life spell. This will bring recently slain creatures back to life if it's cast upon a creature that has died within the last round. And then you apply the healing from the spell, which is 5d8 points of damage plus 1 point per caster level to the creature. However, it is worth noting that this does not work against creatures or companions that were killed by death effects, and if its hit point total is at a negative amount equal to or greater than its Constitution score, it remains dead. Now at 12th level, we pick up Burning Renewal, which is actually a pretty cool ability. Essentially, every time your Flame Warden takes 10 or more points of fire damage, they will remove the following conditions of fatigued, shaken, sickened, exhausted, frightened, or nauseated. Additionally, you'll remove 1d6 points of ability damage and 1d6 points of ability drain from the most damaged ability scores. This only takes effect once, regardless of how much fire damage you took, and you can use it a number of times per day equal to 3 plus your wisdom modifier. If your Flame Warden has fire resistance or immunity to fire, the fire damage you would have taken still counts. At 16th level, they pick up Phoenix Blast. If a Flame Warden dies, their body explodes into a conflagration in a 20-foot radius. Every hostile creature in the area will take 10d6 points of fire damage unless it succeeds its reflex save, which will make it half damage. The flames will not deal damage to your allies, but will instead heal them for 5d6 points of damage, as well as neutralizing any poisons they are suffering from. And then Master Hunter turns into Phoenix Rising for them. At 20th level, they gain immunity to fire, and once per day, the Flame Warden will rise from the ashes of their own destruction 1 round after dying. Essentially, if they die, they will be resurrected with all their equipment and return to life with half of their maximum hit points. Now, they will also get some additional spells as they level up. At 4th level, they will pick up Fire Belly and Small Fire Elemental. At 7th level, they pick up Scorching Ray. At 10th level, they gain Medium Fire Elemental. And then at 13th level, they add Flame Strike, Volcanic Storm, and summon Large Fire Elemental to their spell list. And that brings us to Freebooter, which I'm not wild about, to be honest with you. This is a pretty underwhelming archetype because you lose your favorite enemy, you get a set bond, and you only get one thing in return for that. The bond is forced to be your companion's bond, which I guess is fine, it is what it is. But the only thing you get for losing a potential animal companion, as well as your favorite enemy bonuses, is Freebooter's Bane. So as a move action, you can indicate an enemy in combat and rally your allies to focus on that target. This will give you a +1 bonus on weapon attack and damage rolls against that target at 5th level, and every 5 levels after, this bonus increases by 1. And it'll last until that target dies, or the Freebooter selects a new target. Personally, I just feel like that's not that great of an ability to not get my favorite enemy bonuses. But that brings us to the Stormwalker. So the Stormwalker is forced into the archery combat style. They lose their bond altogether, much like the Flame Warden. And they also get a lot of really cool things to replace it. Starting with Wind Treader at 4th level, which is what directly replaces your bond. A Stormwalker will be able to wreath their weapon in lightning, which will, as a standard action, let you add the shock special ability for 1 minute to your weapon, which makes the weapon count as magic for purposes of overcoming damage reduction. And you can use this a number of times per day equal to 3 plus your wisdom modifier. Now at 12th level, this becomes the Shocking Burst ability, which means it's basically the electric version of the Flame Warden's Flaming Burst. We will still pick up base evasion at level 9. However, we don't gain improved evasion as a Stormwalker, but at 11th level, we gain Flash Step. As a full round action, you can transform into lightning, move to any unoccupied space within 50 feet without provoking any attacks of opportunity, and make a ranged attack against the closest opponent after you make that move. At 16th level, we pick up 1 with the Storm, which makes us immune to electricity. At 19th level, we pick up Flash Shot, which makes Flash Step give you 2 ranged attacks after the movement as opposed to just 1, and both of them are made at your highest base attack bonus. And that is going to do it for the Ranger class, guys, as it stands in the beta. So, just a cool class. I think people kind of pigeonhole it into an archer, and that's just not entirely true. You can play this as a melee character with an animal companion, or in a few other ways with things like Flame Warden or Stormwalker. So again, I think this class can just be more than people think it can, and that inherently kind of makes it interesting to me personally. But with that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and it gave you some information. If you did, I certainly hope you'll consider commenting, subscribing, all that jazz that helps that YouTube algorithm keep churning. But regardless of any of that, truly just thank you so much for watching. I literally couldn't do this without you guys. So thank you again. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.